Nice guys finish last. You've heard this 1,000 times, right? Some guys say it like it's a law of physics. But where I grew up, here in the Philippines, it was almost the opposite. The nice guy wasn't the loser, he was the one everybody wanted you to marry. So let's pull this apart a little bit because I honestly think that both sides are getting part of this wrong. And I'm just going to be honest about who's doing what. Now, look, if you're the guy who did everything right, you were kind, you showed up, you treated her well, and she still walked away with a guy who treated her like garbage. Yeah, I see you. This one's for you. But I'm not going to blow smoke and tell you it's all her fault, yes? Because some of this is on you too. Stay with me. Here's the first hard thing. A lot of men calling themselves nice guys aren't actually being nice. They're running a tab. They're sweet, generous, always available. But underneath all that is a quiet expectation. Surely she'll choose me now, yes? Love, affection, sex, a relationship. You're waiting to cash in. That's not kindness. That's an invoice. You're handing her a bill she never agreed to pay. From her perspective, you gave it willingly. I don't owe you anything at all. Reality bites, yes, but emotionally healthy women pick on that surprisingly quickly. What you think is kindness often comes across as neediness. It's pressure with a smile on it. So no, that guy doesn't lose because he's too good. He loses because he's being strategic and calling it goodness. There's actually a huge difference. Now, let's flip it to where I'm from. In the world I grew up in, a dependable man is someone who has his shit together, his life together. That's the dream. He's the Prince Charming. That's the man your mom, your aunties, your lolas hope you bring home one day. Because for a lot of families here, marriage isn't just romance, it is stability. It's your children eating 3 meals a day. It is school. It's a better future. So the bad boy, he isn't exciting. He's a liability. Personally, I can smell a bad boy from a mile away. The moment he walks into my radar, I already know where the wind is blowing. He's the iceberg to the Titanic for me, so I run the other way. Many women like me learn early. Run toward the man who builds, run away from the man who burns things down. Now, I have noticed something, and this is just my own observation, not a scientific study. As you move into circles where survival isn't the biggest concern anymore, you start seeing more and more women attracted to chaos. And I think it is because when safety is already guaranteed, safe can start feeling boring. Chaos starts looking like passion. The stakes get lower, and sometimes the standards get weird. Now, I'm not saying women from poorer backgrounds never choose bad boys. Of course they do. Many end up becoming single mothers while the fathers disappear. We've all seen those stories, right? You've heard so many of them. You've dealt with a lot of them in the dating market here in the Philippines. So this isn't about class making someone immune. It's about incentives changing. And this next part is for the women. I've watched this happen far too many times online, and sometimes it just sickens me because it's just too much. Some women get a genuinely good man, kind, steady, dependable, actually there for them. And then they get bored. They call him too nice. They start chasing the guy who keeps them guessing because that anxiety feels exciting. They call it chemistry. But, sorry, that's usually not chemistry. Girl, that's a nervous system that's become so familiar with chaos that peace feels uncomfortable. And here's the tragedy. You break a good man's heart. And A few dirt bags, not just a few actually, for many, it's many dirt bags later, you're wondering where all the good men went. Girl, they were standing right in front of you, yet you called them boring. So here's where I land. Men, stop trying to be nice. Aim to be good instead. Good has a backbone. Be kind because that's who you are, not because you're hoping to get paid in affection. Be generous, but have boundaries. Be warm and still be able to say, nah, that doesn't work for me. I'm out. That man doesn't finish last. Not here, not anywhere. And for the women, please grow out of chasing chaos, okay? The older you get, the more expensive that lesson becomes. Learn to feel safe with someone who's actually safe. And honestly, this goes the same for men too. Stop chasing women who take far more than they ever give back. That's a terrible investment. Choose someone who makes your life more peaceful, not more complicated. If ever something doesn't feel right, like every time something happens and you feel this weird feeling in your stomach that you can't really explain, it's probably your gut telling you, hey, we're not safe here. Because in the end, nice guys finish last was never really about being nice. The man who loses is usually hiding, pretending he has no needs, pretending he'll eventually be rewarded for disappearing into the background. And the woman who overlooks him may be mistaking calm for boring. Both of those are fixable. Neither one is your destiny. So quit hiding and quit chasing chaos. That's the whole thing. So, yeah, I'm going to close it there so I can continue my walk. There's still a lot going over there. I have like 20 minutes that way and 20 minutes, oh no, 5 minutes that way. Anyway, tell me where you're from. Was the nice guy the catch or was he the consolation prize? Because I think the answer tells you a lot about the culture you grew up in. And tomorrow, I want to talk about why so many men are suddenly booking one-way flights to this side of the world. Ooh, my sweat is now dripping. Yeah, so we're going to unpack that together. So come walk with me. I'll finish this entire 20-minute stretch over there. The tide is very low, so I'm coming out of here. This is actually getting a little bit deeper there. Anyway, thank you for being here with me. Bye.